I've lost. Wait, good.
Okay. So what we're going to do, I just started the recording. So once this is done, it will save it to my computer. I will then upload it to my YouTube as an unlisted video. I will email you a link and you can rewatch it whenever. So that not only are you going to get your camera fixed, but the good thing is you'll always have this available. Okay.
That re Thank you. This means a tremendous amount to me, Lee.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
We're gonna get you hooked up so you don't have to stress for your trip, bud. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go into the menu. We're going to start on camera one, page one. Now, make sure you shoot in manual mode if I remember correctly, right, Bob?
I do.
So make sure your camera mode dial is in M.
It is.
Okay, excellent. Okay, all right. So we want to be on camera one, page one.
Let me get over here. Camera one, page one, basics image. Yes, go
Yep,
ahead.
that's correct. Yes, sir. So the first thing is you want to make sure you're in RAW. That's what you shoot if I remember correctly.
I am there. Yes,
Okay. We want to make sure image aspect is at 4/3,
it is.
and we want to make sure image review is off.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Now we're going to go to page two.
Um, I am there.
Okay. Picture mode should be 4, camera muted.
Ugh. Got it.
Okay. And the reason we're doing that, then your histogram and highlight alerts will be as close to the raw file as possible. Okay. Now, white balance should be set to white balance auto.
It is.
Okay. Do you ever shoot with flash for birds or anything?
No.
No. Okay. Color space should be Adobe RGB.
So white balance, I have white balance done differently. So let me go make sure I've got that. White balance is 5500.
Oh, that's just for flash. If you don't use flash, this one doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Color space, Adobe
RGB.
RGB. I've got that. Yes.
Okay, good, bud. Page 3.
Go ahead.
You don't use auto ISO, correct?
Well,
Tom?
I usually don't. I set my own ISO.
Good, good. I'm glad. That's the way it should be. So see this ISO auto? You want to
Yes.
make sure it's only for PAS, not PASM.
Oh, got that. I didn't have that right. Okay.
Okay, because that can accidentally get you into auto ISO in manual mode if you don't turn it off for manual.
All right.
ISO steps should be at 1/3 EV.
They are.
Noise filter should be standard.
It is.
Low ISO should be on detail.
It isn't.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Noise reduction should be off.
Got it.
And now page 4.
There. Yes.
EV steps should be 1/3.
Got it.
Okay. Page 5.
I'm there.
The top one, metering, we want to make sure it looks that icon for evaluative.
That's what it is.
Excellent. And then down here, this metering during sequential, that should say yes.
It does.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to go to page 6. You don't
No.
use Flash, so we can skip page 6.
Uh,
Go to page 7.
I'm there.
Okay, your drive mode. I
Okay.
know we talked about this some. I don't remember what you ultimately went with. Which drive do you tend to use the most?
Well, for this trip, I thought I would use ProCapture SH2. I'm not sure that's a good decision, but
I,
he's
yeah. You're doing a rookery, right?
correct.
Pro capture will end up, I don't think it's best. I only use Pro Capture for things that I can't predict when it's going to happen. So for general birds in flight, I use this one, SH2, that is still 50 frames per second. And so like you could switch to Pro Capture for like spoonbills and stuff are kind of easy to figure out when they're about to take off.
Okay.
Other things that you can't predict is when you want to go into pro. Like if you just swung your camera up and tried to get on a bird in flight, pro capture is not the best for that.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the limitation. Here's the caveat with SH2. Okay. And so we want to this one you won't have in your camera, but you got to remember this one.
Let me
You
write
can
it down. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
write this one down, okay? You can only use SH2 up to ISO 12,800. So if you need to go above ISO 12.8, you want to do this one, the silent sequential. That's the heart with 3 boxes. That is still 20 frames per second, but up to ISO, well, above ISO 25,600. That's generally the highest I'll shoot at is ISO 25,600. So above ISO 12.8, we're going to use this one. And then below ISO 12,800, SH2.
Okay. So above, you're doing
Yeah, above ISO 12.8, we need to be here.
the heart with the 3. Okay. So it's the heart with the 3
Boxes. And
boxes.
that is called silent sequential.
Got it.
And then
Above.
this one is SH2, high speed silent sequential.
Okay. And what's
Oh,
that?
remind me which lens you have, Bob. What's your
One, I'm going to be shooting the 100, excuse me, the 150 400.
okay, good. That one will do up to 50 frames per second. Not all lenses will do that. So yeah, that'll be a great combination. Perfect.
Do you suggest using the 1.4 multiplier on this?
The built-in one or the add-on? The one
Well,
point.
I was going to do the add-on because I didn't know it had a built-in.
Yeah, on the 150 to 400. Just a second, bud. Let me grab the lens. All right. A couple of things. Since you have this lens, I want to go over. You're good at getting through the menu, so we'll have time. So I want to go over this with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So hold on, I gotta change the camera here, duh. So you can see me. Okay. All right. You see this lever right here?
Let me grab the lens.
Yeah, grab the lens.
Okay. And so I see over here, I've got IS on off. Let me,
Yeah, look on the other side of the lens.
okay, other side of the lens.
Oh, is that the 150 to 600 or the
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the 150 to 600.
Oh, okay. Okay. The 150 to 400 has the built-in teleconverter, not that one. Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. No, you know what? With that lens, don't put another teleconverter on. It's already so long. No, I wouldn't use it. It'll slow it down too much. Don't do that.
Okay.
Now you've got plenty of reach, and you don't want to make it slower. It'll be fine. The Rookeries. I assume you're doing a boat tour.
Yes.
Are you
He's
going with Ron of Whistling Wings?
one more time.
Ron at Whistling Wings?
No,
Okay.
Stephen. Steve. I'll look it up. Give
Yeah,
me a
yeah. I was
second.
just curious. I know Ron does boat tours, and I think I know who you're talking about. Well, good. You'll have a fun time, bud. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay,
Uh,
let's get back in the menu.
Spoonbills. I can get. All right. We'll do that.
Oh,
And
spoonbills. Yeah, that'll be so cool.
Stephen Blandon.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Good, good, good. You're gonna have a good time, bud. Okay. Um, down here where it says silent setting.
Silent settings. Let me get down there. Yes, there's a heart on it.
Okay. Make sure waiting time is at 0. It should be.
Waiting time is at 0.
The beep, make sure that's not allow.
I had it on allow, so I won't allow it.
And then AF illuminator, you want that to allow.
I've got that.
And flash mode, since you don't use it, doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Page 8.
Page 8, I'm there.
Image stabilizer, you want that on SIS Auto.
Got it.
The next one down you want on FPS priority. It probably already is and
It
grayed
is.
out. Probably, yeah, yeah.
It is.
Okay. Image stabilizer on.
Got
And
it.
I'm going to tell you what this does, okay? On your lens, you know how you have the IS on and off switch on your 150 to 600? Take a look at that and see, you'll see the on off switch for IS.
Hang on, I just realized something.
Yep.
Okay. Now, image stabilizer on, and then what else did you say?
And then on your lens, you know how there's that IS on and off switch?
Yes.
So I want you to develop a habit, Bob. Every time you pull your lens out of the bag, and if it's been sitting on your lap for a while, check those lenses because we accidentally hit them at times, okay? Now, this image stabilizer being on, this setting we just turned on in the menu,
Yes.
when you half press your shutter button, you should see all of a sudden the image will stabilize. Okay.
Yes.
It simulates the image stabilization.
Yes.
If you half press the shutter button, oh, sorry, I should turn on the right camera. Sorry. So, but if you half press the shutter button and it still looks like your lens is moving a lot, you probably accidentally turned off your IS switch.
All right.
So that function is a great way of going, oh, uh-oh, I accidentally hit IS. Okay.
All right.
So it's a good tool. And to be honest, it also by simulating, it slows everything down and makes it easier for you to track your subject. But
Yeah.
if you're half pressing the shutter button, you're like, my God, I'm moving a lot, then check that IS switch. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's go back in the menu. Now, this next one I personally like. Some people do not, and I will show you what it is, okay? So, when I focus, when I half press the shutter button, do you see that white box in the middle?
Do.
That shows me how much I'm moving side to side and up and down. So I like it because it helps me see if I'm just being out of control. Some people don't like it because they believe it kind of blocks their field of vision. So for me, I personally like having it because I see, particularly for landscape and even wildlife, like, whoa, man, like how still am I being? So whether or not you want that on, that's kind of a personal preference. I like it, but not everybody does. Okay.
I like that. I do like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you want to make sure handheld assist is turned on.
It is.
And then we want to make sure lens IS priority is off.
It is.
Okay. Now, since we're doing wildlife, we can skip camera 2 computational modes and go straight to the green AF autofocus mode.
Okay.
Okay. The top one, AF mode, should be CAF MF. But to see that, see the second one down, AF plus MF, that must be turned on.
Okay. CAFMF is now on. Thank you.
Good, good. Okay. So let's talk about this for a second, bud. You know, the other day I was in Yellowstone with heavy snow, right? And autofocus kept grabbing snow. So I have to manually focus. I know we're going to program a different button, but you basically do back button focus. Okay. So here's the beauty of it. Let's say you're having trouble acquiring focus on a spoonbill for some reason, okay? You could just reach your finger up and do manual focus and we'll turn on focus peaking and you can get manual focus and then take a picture. You're fine. It won't mess up. You don't have to turn the AF switch on or off to do that. That's the beauty of OM system. You can do manual and auto combine and no problem. So that's what we've done by turning AF plus MF on. You can do both. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, bud. Let's get back in the menu. Now,
Okay.
do you ever do night sky photography?
No.
Okay. Okay. So this is an important one. See this AF by half pressing the shutter button?
Yes.
We want to go in there. We want to make sure both are set to no.
Why do you want that?
Because you don't want to use the shutter button for our autofocus, right? You want to use that other button.
You're correct.
Yeah, so if you don't turn it off here and you try doing back button, it'll be competing and you'll never have a sharp shot.
Okay. Wow.
That makes sense?
Makes all the sense in the
You,
world. Thank
you would think that never happens, Bob. You can't imagine how many people's camera I find like that. And literally, I've known clients that finally at the end of the day they said something's not right. And what's happened is they asked a guide to change it to back button, but the guide didn't turn off front button, and it ruins all their pictures. It's so sad, bud. It's happened a lot.
Wow.
It's happened a lot. So AF on in MF mode, we want that set to yes.
All right.
If you accidentally turn your camera to MF mode, guess what? It won't hurt you because you can still do back button focus is what that does.
Okay.
Okay. Release priority. Okay. So go in there. For SAF, you want it off, even though you really don't use that. Just make sure that's off. CAF, we want on. Here's what that means, okay? It means that you will allow the camera to take images even though focus isn't quite acquired. And for wildlife photography, that's important because your camera may have focus and then lose it for just a second and go right back to the subject. If you have that turned off, it will delay when you can start taking pictures again. So I would rather capture a few shots here and there out of focus to be faster at taking shots in focus. Does that make sense, bud?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Okay. All right, let's go to page 2.
I'm on 2.
Okay, under subject detection, pick the birds.
It is.
Okay. Here, yeah. Okay. So make sure under CAF setting, this one, that both of them are set to, well, just the first one's all that's important. Make sure it's set to all.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Excellent. Now, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. That's set. Eye detection frame, I like having it on. A little box will appear around an eye when it detects it. Okay.
Oh, good. It is on.
Okay, good. Let's go to page 3.
Go ahead.
We want AF illuminator turned on.
It is. Uh-huh.
And for the AF area pointer, I like on 1. I want it to always display the autofocus box. That's what I like.
Got it. It's there.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to page 4.
Yes.
So on the Mark II, for continuous autofocus sensitivity, the maximum I will go is +1. I either live at +1 or 0. Just kind of depends on what I'm shooting. Probably for what you're going to be doing, I'd put it on +1.
Okay. Got it.
Next one down, CAF center priority.
Yes.
We want to turn it off for the large box. Make sure it is unchecked.
Okay.
Okay.
So cross and mid.
Yeah, that's fine on those. If it starts in the middle on those, that's fine, but not for the large. Want to make sure your autofocus limiter's turned off. That's the digital in-camera one.
It is.
We want the AF scanner on. What that means is if it can't quite find focus, it's going to keep looking. It'll scan back and forth. So we want that turned on.
Okay, it is. Mm-hmm.
The next one, AF focus adjustment. This is one of those things absolutely never touch. You will screw up your camera.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, we can skip page 5. That's for video. Okay, so page 6, AF target mode settings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we want to make sure that all is checked and large is checked.
It is.
Okay, good. Now, I don't know, do you do landscape photography ever or just strictly wildlife?
No,
Okay.
landscape.
Well, then, because we've got time and because you paid for the class, I'm going to teach you how to make a custom autofocus point. I will show you what I use for landscape, okay?
Okay.
So this C1, C2, C3, C4, that is not related to the C1, C2, C3, and C4 on top of your camera. It is
Okay.
confusing. I wish they would call that A1, A2, A3, A4 for autofocus 1 and autofocus 2. But just know C1, C2 in here has nothing to do with C1, C2 on top of your camera, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So to create a custom box and to make sure it's available later, we're going to press the OK button on that box.
Got it.
Then I'm going to, whenever we see that arrow to the right, it means we can go right into the menu. So I'm going to press the directional pad right.
Okay.
And
Got it.
the front dial controls the width, and the back dial controls the height. So for landscape, I like a 39 by 1.
39 by 1. Got it.
Okay, so now we're going to press the OK button.
Okay.
Now that would work when our camera's in landscape mode or horizontal, but we need one for if our camera's in vertical. So I'm going to go to C2 and press OK to check that box. And then we're going to go right. And now we're going to do just the opposite. We want 27 by 1. So 27 on the left and 1 on the top.
27 on the left. 27 by 1. Okay. I think I have that. Now on top, on top, what am I supposed to be saying? The 1 to 1?
A 1.
Okay. And then on the left,
27.
how do I get over there?
It's the
How
rear
do I get over?
dial. Just spin the rear dial. See those white icons by the 1 and the 27? That will tell you which dial you use, front or rear.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
1, and then over here, I'm going for 27. Okay, I've matched what you have. Thank you.
All right, let's press the OK button.
Got it.
Okay. And then let's press the menu button once to get back to this page.
I'm there.
All right, let's go to orientation linked.
Okay.
Press OK. Make sure both of those are checked.
Okay, got it.
Perfect. Press the menu button once. All right, set home. We want to make sure both of those are checked.
They are.
And we want to make sure they are set to large. AF target mode, go to the right. You should under set home, you should see this target mode and target point.
Yes.
And then go right and you'll see that. Don't worry that mine are set to small right now. Just change all 3 to large.
I get you. Hold on.
Yep.
Large. 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 I'm done.
Okay. So we're going to press the menu button once to get back to AF target point.
Okay.
So for this one, for the horizontal, we want to make sure it's in the middle.
It is.
Okay. Press the menu button once, go back to this page.
Yes.
Go to the middle one, press OK.
Yes.
We want it to be about there for the 4th box from the right.
Got it.
Press the menu button once.
Okay.
Go to the bottom one.
Yes.
And we want to make sure it's the 4th one from the left.
Okay. Got it.
Press the menu button twice, actually 3 times to get back to page 6.
Got it.
Okay. I'm sorry, I went too fast. Under select screen settings,
Yes.
press OK and make sure they're both like that.
Plus mode and they are.
Perfect. Press the menu button once.
Okay.
Go into loop settings.
Go ahead.
And loop selection should be off.
It is.
And the next one should be no.
Got it.
Okay. At the bottom, AF targeting pad should be off.
It is.
Perfect. We're going to go right one to page 7.
I'm there.
Under MF Assist at the top,
Yes.
press OK.
Yes.
Make sure peaking is turned on.
Oh, it isn't. Okay.
Now, let me show you what the focus indicator is. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it when I'm doing manual focus, especially for macro and whatnot. But watch as I start to manually focus. Do you see that thing at the bottom that just popped up?
Yes.
It lets me know if I'm moving towards infinity or close focus.
I have used that on the, you set the other camera up that way and I liked it.
Okay, excellent. Okay, bud, good. Okay, so here's what we need to do, okay? So in the menu, under here, make sure focus indicator is turned on.
Got it. I'm
Okay,
there.
awesome. Press the menu button once, get back to this page.
Yes.
Under peaking settings, I have tested the different peaking colors and red just works the best.
That's fine.
Okay, so that should be the default. Just make sure it's set there.
Yes.
Okay. The manual focus clutch I like. You know how let me get here and show you this. So you know how on our lenses we can do this to manually focus?
Yes.
So I like that clutch. Some people do not. So what you can do in the menu, if you turn that to inoperative, it will make that not work even if you move it. I like it, but I leave it operative. But that's
Yes.
your options.
I will leave it operative. I know what it is. I've gotten stuck. I got stuck on it once and had to call Tamra from Europe. So I'm cured.
Good. Okay. Okay. So this next one, this focus ring. Now, if you find that when you start to manually focus, if you find that you're always starting to go the wrong direction, in other words, you think you're focusing in, but you're always going out, right? Or say you think you're going towards close focus, but you're always going to infinity.
Yes.
You can reverse what your camera does by switching.
Okay.
So there's not a right or wrong, but if you start manually focusing a lot and you're like, Mother of God, every time I start to manually focus, I'm going the wrong direction. Don't try to train your brain differently. Change that. Okay.
Greatly. Got it.
Okay. This reset lens, you want that off because what that does is when you turn your camera off, it will reset your lens to infinity. And I don't like that.
Good. Okay.
Okay. Now the next one, we're going to skip the video main menu and we're going to go to image playback, the blue square with the triangle in it.
Got it.
Okay. We don't need to mess with anything on page 1. So we're going to go to page 2.
Go ahead.
Under dial function, the second one down, make sure it has those icons that you see on my screen.
It does.
Okay. And the next one down, does it say recently?
Yes.
And is quick erase turned off?
It is.
Excellent. Let's go to page 3.
Wait a minute. JP, I want to shoot only JP. I only want to shoot raw and raw.
That doesn't. So what that is for people who do shoot in RAW and JPEG, that makes sure that if you delete one of them, it will delete the other. So it doesn't affect those of us that only shoot in RAW. Yeah. Yeah. Good question. Good question, bud. Page 3.
I'm there.
So that top one is auto rotate your image. So if you shoot a vertical image, but you're holding your camera horizontal, you'll see it vertically. So you want that on.
Got it.
The next one down is image playback info settings. Press OK. And make sure all 3 are checked.
They are.
And under basic, highlight it and go right.
Yes.
Make sure highlights and histogram are checked.
Good. They weren't. Okay.
All right, press the menu button twice to get back to page 3.
All right.
Under image playback zoom info settings, press OK.
Okay.
Make sure magnify frame and magnify scroll are both checked.
They are.
Okay, we're going to press the menu button once to get back to page 3.
All right.
Under that checkerboard settings,
Mm-hmm.
press OK.
Uh-huh.
This tells you how many images you can see at once on the back of your camera by zooming out. I like 4, 9, 25, and 100. I don't leave my images on for more than a day, so I uncheck calendar, but this is just personal opinion. If I've taken 7,000 images and I want to get through images quickly, I want to zoom out to where there's 100 images on the back of my camera and move through them. But there's no right or wrong here, just whatever you would like.
Okay, I've mirrored yours.
Okay, okay. So we're going to press menu.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go over one to custom menu, the orange gear, page 1, operations.
All right.
Okay, under button settings, press OK.
Yes.
At the top, under camera button function, press OK.
All right.
Okay, so on the exposure compensation button, we are going to program that to turn subject detection on and off. Okay, so I want you to press OK. So let me go back one. So see here at the top,
There.
press OK.
Uh-huh.
And see the box right there that I'm on? It's called subject detection.
It's a little box within a box.
So if you see AF on the far right, it'll be directly under that.
Let me go back to the top. There is no top. Okay. So now
So here you go, bud. I'll help you. Press the menu button to go out to that.
All right.
Press OK. Now, what do you see at the top? Do you see C1, C2, C3, C4?
No, I got ISO and then.
Okay, so you're on this one, right?
No, I'm on at the top. I'm on exposure comp.
No, not at the top. See these 2 rows of boxes? You're where you see ISO, right?
Yes, ISO. Yes, I'm there. Yes, that's
okay,
correct.
See, now move over to flicker scan.
All right.
And go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I see. I got you. God, you're good.
Press O. You're okay, buddy. Hey, that's why you're paying me to do this, because we're going to get you fixed. Listen, you know what? When I hear a client has a problem with a camera right before they go on a trip, you'd probably be surprised. I'm as worried and stressed for them as they are, because I know how much money gets invested in time, and there's nothing worse than that kind of stress. You want to have a good time. So honestly, man, I'm here to help you. That's what I love getting to do.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, you said you want to move focus to the red button, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So which finger are you going to use to do that?
That's my first finger on my right hand, because once I've acquired focus, I can then go back to the.
But what about a bird in flight that you need to follow?
Okay, I see why you're going to the back.
So let me let's try something. You said your thumb does not reach the AF on button well because of an injury.
Well, no, the finger does. The left side, this side of my thumb is still numb, so I can feel with the right side. It's for some reason I've just found it awkward to use the AF on. But if you need to keep me there,
well, but I've got an option for you. I want you to try something.
All right.
See your ISO button?
Yes, I use it all the time.
What if we put autofocus on that and ISO on AF on, because you don't need ISO as much?
You're on. Do it.
Okay. So go down here to ISO.
Yes.
Press OK.
Okay.
So now you're on ISO, right?
Yes.
So let me get to where I want to be, and then I can tell you how to get there. Okay. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Okay, I hit something wrong. Hold on.
That's okay, bud.
And then I'm on
Let me go
ISO.
back.
And I go down 1, 2, 3, 4 would be AF limit.
Go down one more to ISO bracket. You'll see ISO BKT.
I got it.
Okay. Now I need you to go right to AF dash on.
All right.
Press OK.
All right.
Now go down one to AF on,
All right.
and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then to the left to get to ISO.
Got it.
Press OK.
Got it.
Okay. Do you ever do focus bracketing or focus stacking for birds?
No.
Okay. Then I'm not going to worry about changing that right now for you. Okay. I don't think I want to change anything else. Now you are set, bud, for using the ISO button for your focus. And the AF on button changes your ISO.
I'm just making notes.
Yeah, go right ahead. I want you to. Don't want to forget that.
Got it.
Okay. Now, another thing on this page right here at the bottom, it says menu operated by the garbage can. Change that to yes if it's not already.
It's not.
Okay. And I'll tell you what that'll do.
All right.
So, you know how sometimes you don't want to have to take your left hand off the lens to press the menu button on the upper left,
Yes.
right? Now, press the garbage pail and see what happens. Does your menu come on?
Yeah, button settings.
Yeah. So now you have a menu button on the right-hand side of the camera that's easier to get to.
Wow. Thank
Okay.
you.
So, because we don't want to delete images in camera anyways. So now our garbage button turns our menu on and off.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Under dial settings, the second item,
Why wouldn't I want to delete images in camera?
that's the number one way to cause memory card failure.
Thank you.
Here and yeah, let me give you a little explanation on that. I know because I know you're a cerebral guy, so it's fun to be able to explain stuff like this. Okay, so you got a memory card, and you have and every image is a different size, right? So you delete an image of a certain size. Well, your camera goes to record an image that's bigger, so it's going to stick some of that file there and then put it somewhere else, the rest of it. So it's not a clean fill. And that is what ultimately leads to most memory card corruption and problems. Okay. So we only format a card. We don't delete images off of one.
While we're speaking about this, I've got that. I understand completely.
Okay.
So let's talk memory cards. What I have are two 128s that Tamara sold me specifically for bird photography. So they're the right speed for 30 frames a second or so forth. Now, if I can make them, I'd like them to go, I guess, from one card overflows to the next card.
We'll do that.
Okay, now, is this enough space, or do I need to have a 212 or even a 512,
So
whatever?
in my wildlife cameras, I generally put a 256 in card 1 and a 128 in slot 2. And I don't know, did she sell you the ProMaster Ruggeds? They're orange.
One was orange. Yes, she sold me that one, and I had one that she said was perfectly fine. And this is a Lexar 128 2000 V.
Yeah. Yeah. So to save yourself some money, you can go with those ProMasters in the future. You don't have to get the Lexar in the future.
All right. Now I have ordered, but it hasn't arrived. Therefore, I can send them back from B&W, B&H, two 512 cards.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I have had days where I could fill up a 512, like, because you just never know what's going to happen, right? There's nothing wrong with having more space than needed. What sucks is you're in the middle of great action. I mean, on my wolf bison hunt in Yellowstone a year ago, I took 17,000 images that day at 50 frames per second. I would have loved to have had two 512s in my camera because I had to swap out. I mean, I filled up, right? So there's nothing wrong with having the only reason I don't do all my cards at the biggest, because A, it's a lot of money, and B, if you do have a failure, then you're losing a lot more images. So this dipstick had his memory card holder fall out of his pocket in Argentina on a private ranch in the middle of nowhere, like $2,000 worth of cards. Believe it or not, they found it, but it costs so much to ship it. I have to wait till I go back down there. So the reality is more cards of a medium size, but I have a 512 too. I just don't, I use it some, but yeah, I wouldn't get all my cards 512, but what I would do is put a 512 in one camera and a 512 in slot one on the other in case things are hot and heavy. And then, yeah, then you're good. So you're not hurt, but there are some people that just buy one 512 and they don't have any other memory cards. I'm like, oh my God, they're setting themselves up for a nightmare. Because what happens if that one card fails with all their images, right?
All right. You've raised another question. I don't have a backup camera. Should I have one?
Ah, bud, you have an OM1 or no, you have a Mark II, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, if you could, and you shoot macro a lot, uh,
Not a lot, but it's a,
but
it's a
some,
passion.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing, bud, right? I mean, you travel a lot, you're spending a lot of money. What's going to happen if you're on this trip and that one camera goes down? You're screwed, right? For me, I generally travel with two. I'm going to take three bodies to India because I'm so far. I just like, I don't want to, because I like having, I always want to have my longest lens and then whatever my next most used lens on a body quickly available. You're doing more specific bird and flight kind of stuff in birds. So it's not quite as critical. But for me, yeah, like you're serious about your photography, you invest a lot of money in it.
Right.
And if money isn't the problem, it is for some people. If money isn't the problem, then hell yes, you need a backup body on a trip.
All right.
Um, you know, Now if you want to save some money, go with a used OM1 because it's just as, I mean, it doesn't have the biggest differences. It doesn't have the built-in graduated neutral density filter. So if they've got a used OM1 where someone upgraded that wasn't hard to use, heck, that's I have three OM1 Mark IIs. I still have my two OM1s. They're a great camera.
I buy these on eBay from people who have a 99% or 100%, and
Rating.
they're a camera store, and they sold tens of thousands of objects.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been doing
I tell all my clients on every workshop they come to, they should have a backup body because most of the time we're not in a place where you can even go buy an OM camera. I mean, I go, me, if you go with me to Brazil for the Jaguars, man, we're on a riverboat in the middle of freaking nowhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, here's the thing. You know how I joke. I think I told you this before. Photography's nothing but money and time, right? So yes, bud, you are going to be so disappointed if that body just has one little issue or even something that just happens that you just mess up a setting and you're like kind of panic. Well, what if you could just pick up another camera that you already have programmed the same way? Yes, I recommend always, and you travel a lot, bud. I mean, it's not like you're just shooting at home where if you have a problem, you're going to see Tamara at Precision.
Right. You're right. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I'm going to
whether or
get.
not you need a Mark II or whether or not just an OM1, well, it depends. Are you going to use that graduated neutral density filter a lot? I do, and I love it, but I don't really need it for my macro shooting. I don't need it on my macro body, but I do need it on my landscape body and even occasionally on my wildlife body for an environmental portrait or something.
You need to show me where it is. I don't know how to get to the ND filter.
Okay, I'll show you that when we finish programming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that, bud. Okay.
Okay.
All right, enough of me yammering. Let's get back in the menu here.
I'm here.
All right, let me jump in there. Okay, under dial settings, okay,
Yes. Hmm.
under dial function, then go to the bottom at MB, manual bulb, press OK.
Got it.
Okay, do you normally control aperture with the front dial and shutter speed with the rear, or do you like to do shutter on the front and aperture with the rear dial?
It's also new to me. I do whatever the camera's set up to do. I haven't had any trouble with it.
Okay, then we
Set it the
won't
way
mess.
set it the way you like it, though.
Well, so I will explain why I move. So the default is aperture on the front and shutter on the rear. But here's the thing. Let's say I'm photographing a bird and all of a sudden highlight alerts appear on it. I don't want to stop autofocus to change my shutter speed, so I can keep my thumb on autofocus, drop my finger to the front dial, increase my shutter speed, and then go right back to the shutter photographing. If I have shutter on the rear dial, I have to let go of focus.
Valid point. I accept.
Now, play with that some before you go on your trip, and if it's messing you up, you can always change it back.
On the phone, I'll call you back. All right. So we're going to put shutter.
On the front and aperture, they call it F number on the rear.
F number rear. Okay, so what do I need to do here?
Okay, are you on this page?
I am, yes, I've gone into, let me look. Let me get out of here. Yes, I'm on MB. That's correct.
Okay, press OK.
Yes.
Now using the front dial, spin it until it says shutter.
Got it. I'm there.
Now use the right directional pad to move over one. And that next box should be highlighted in orange.
Yes.
Now spin the rear dial until you see FNO.
Got it.
Press OK.
Got it.
Now press menu once.
Yes.
Now go down to where it says loop and menu tab.
Go ahead.
Make sure that says no.
It does.
Okay. We're going to go down to dial direction and press OK.
All right.
Now we're going to go to exposure, press OK.
All right.
Now for me, moving that front dial to the right should be a faster shutter speed. And moving the rear dial right should be stopping down.
Good.
That's dial 1. Dial 2 is the opposite. Dial 2 going right would slow my shutter speed down and open up my aperture. This is not a right or wrong, it's how your brain thinks. Does that make sense?
Yes. So dial one,
Means a faster shutter speed. I'm moving my dial right. Let me show you. Let me show you. Watch at the bottom left of my screen. See where it says 1640?
yes.
So if I spin the front dial to the right, I get to a faster shutter speed.
Well, let me see what I do. Let me just back all the way
Yeah,
out.
think about what you normally do. What feels comfortable?
Okay, so normally this is changing my f-stop, and it to the right is
Dropping down.
no, it's going up. Well, yes, stop and down.
Yeah,
is
stop
correct.
and down.
F11, F14. Yes, that's correct.
Is that how you normally do?
I mean, I don't. As soon as it's either going the right way and I keep going, or it's going the wrong way and I reverse.
Okay.
I don't have anything about.
Here's what I would say, okay? If you find yourself the first time always going in the wrong direction,
Yes.
come into dial direction, this one right here, and then
Yes.
exposure and switch your setting.
Got it. I totally get you. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Okay, press menu button to get back to page 1.
I'm there.
Multi-selector settings.
Go ahead.
Now, earlier we set we set a setting for the default autofocus point. The center button is when you press in on the joystick.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
So there are three options. There's off. Pressing the joystick in lets me select my autofocus target mode, point and mode, or pushing it in changes to the default that we set under home. The problem is a lot of people accidentally press that in. If you don't do that a lot, it's nice to be able to switch to your default if you accidentally, I don't know how often you accidentally change your autofocus target points. Do you do that very often?
No, I don't know enough about the camera to do that.
Well, that's honesty right there. I appreciate that. So here's what I'll say then. Then leave it off for now.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So we're going to go down to FN lever settings
All right.
and we're going to press OK. At the top, I want to make sure it's in mode 2.
It is.
And at the bottom, we want to make sure it's on FN.
It is.
Perfect. Press the menu button once.
Yes.
Make sure lock is turned off.
It is.
Go to page 2.
I am there.
Under menu cursor settings, the 4th item down,
Yes.
press OK.
Yes.
Make sure the first one is save.
Oh, it isn't.
Okay.
All right.
Make sure the next one is recently.
It is.
And then shortcut to B is on.
It is.
Perfect. Press menu button to get back. We'll go to page 3.
I'm there.
LV mode should be standard.
It is.
Night vision should be off.
It is.
And frame rate should be high.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to go to page 4.
Now, when I get done with this shoot and I just back to my normal shooting one shot at a time, do I need to change my frame rate from high to normal?
No, you only want normal frame rate for landscape photography. I leave it on high for macro and wildlife. It is normal for landscape and night sky because you don't need as fast a refresh rate. So the frame rate means how fast your electronic viewfinder refreshes the view, and high lets you follow moving subjects better.
Okay. I got it.
Okay, page 4. At the top is the EVF style, your electronic viewfinder style. I can't enter it because it won't let you when you're connected to an HDMI cable. But press OK, and there are 3 different styles that you see through your electronic viewfinder. You can pick your favorite.
I see what you're doing. So I would do style. I'd do style 2.
Okay.
All right.
So
I
pick
understand.
that. Okay. Awesome. All right, we're going to go down to the second one, camera info settings.
Yes.
Press OK.
Yes.
We only want the top 2 checked.
All right. Got it.
Under the second one, we're going to go right.
Yes.
We want to make sure for sure the histogram and the highlight and shadow are both checked.
And I also have the lever gauge.
Okay, I like using the level gauge for wildlife because every now and then I'm kneeling down or I'm in a boat and I don't realize that my horizon's not level. So having that, I can see.
Yes.
Is your camera gripped?
What do you mean?
Does it have the battery grip on it?
No. Well,
No, okay.
nothing special. No.
No, this grip. Oh, hold on. You can't see. This right here. Did you add the battery grip to it for a second battery?
No.
Okay. That I was asking because that would clarify another setting that I'd probably have you do. But if you don't, if you just have the one, okay. So we're going to
that something I should add?
Well, so I will. So here's my pitch for wildlife bodies. I always put a battery grip on my wildlife bodies because I don't have to pay that close attention to my battery. So that gives me two batteries, and I have all of the controls at my fingertip for vertical shots. One of the reasons people rarely shoot vertical is because, let's be honest, this isn't that comfortable, you know? So I don't put them on my macro bodies or on my landscape bodies, but I do on my wildlife bodies because I like having the shutter speed, the dials, the autofocus button, and the joystick available for vertical shots. And I never turn my camera on and off. I don't want to risk missing a shot. So two batteries, I don't have to worry about as much because subject detection does take quite a bit of battery power.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my pitch for the battery grip. Yes, it adds a little weight. Honestly, for the 150 to 600, without it, I feel like it's too front heavy. I like having the battery grip to give you a little more balance to the rear.
Yes. Got it.
And it's the same one. The battery grip is the same for the OM1. So there should be plenty of used ones out there too, where you can find a good quality used one.
Good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to info by half pressing the shutter button.
So
The
you
third
didn't want silent operation?
No, 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 no. We don't want the touch screen stuff. We'll turn that off in a minute.
So I'm going to 4. I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, info by half pressing the shutter button. You want that on two? At least that's the information I like.
Great. Yes.
Okay. The next one down is our LCD monitor info settings. Press OK. And this should mirror the other one. So the top two should be checked.
Okay.
And then for sure, highlight and histogram should be checked. And the level gauge. Now, if you put a battery grip on, I would go ahead and check all battery information. I like the extra bit of information for both batteries.
Okay. Got it. I've done that.
So if you look at my screen, see in the upper left, it shows one battery at 62%. Then look below my histogram.
Oh, look at that.
So it shows both batteries.
Okay. Great.
Okay. So I always check. So let's go back to something. So in here, make sure you have all that checked. And
I do.
okay, then go back up here to camera info settings. Press OK.
Camera info settings. Press OK. Go ahead.
And then on information 1, go right.
Yes.
And make sure all battery information is checked there.
Do you want everything done? Highlight and shadow, level gauge, and everything?
Everything but silent operation.
Oh, everything but silent operation. So highlight, level gauge, and all battery information. All right.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Press the menu button twice. Get back to page 4.
Yes, I'm there.
All right. I like, if I'm using the rear monitor, I like having the level gauge come on when I press the shutter button. So I turn that on.
It's on.
All right. Let's go to page 5.
I'm there.
Okay. Under grid settings.
Okay.
I like having the rule of thirds grid in my viewfinder. See here, see that rule of, let me get to where it's a little, see how there's a rule of third grid?
Yeah.
So I really like that because it helps me compose images even for birds in flight.
All right.
If you want to turn that on, you're going to press OK.
On preset 1?
No, go down to display grid.
Oh, okay. Got
Press
it.
OK. And that one is the rule of thirds. The fourth, see that fourth option? That's the one you want for rule of thirds.
You're on number 3, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Number 3.
Okay, I'm there.
Press OK on it.
Yes.
And press menu to get back to page 5.
Go ahead.
All right, now we're going to go one more page over to the pink setup menu with the wrench. Be on page 1.
Okay, so we're skipping the second grid setting, is that right?
Yes, you don't need that.
And so now I'm going to go to the wrench. I'm there. Go ahead.
Okay, so card formatting. I want you to press the red button on top. And I want you to save it to My Menu 1.
Okay, I don't understand what you're just saying.
Okay, so make sure, see how I have card formatting highlighted?
I do.
Now, on top of the camera, the red record button, that's
Yes.
how we save things to the custom My Menu. So
Oh,
press the red button while card formatting is highlighted.
oh, I did the wrong thing. The red button. Okay, card formatted. You go ahead.
Okay, so when you press the red button, you should see an option to put it on My Menu page 1.
Correct.
All right, save it to that
All right.
because that one you access quite a bit. So I'll show you where you access that in a little bit.
All right.
Now go down to the second one, photo card slot settings.
Yes.
Press OK.
Yes.
This is what you were asking about earlier. Press OK again and pick the second one, auto switch.
All right. Got it.
What that means is when the first card fills up, it'll just automatically start saving to the second card.
Great.
Then save slot should be number 1.
It is.
Perfect. Press the menu button once to get back to page 1.
In there.
Under file name, I like to do reset.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Okay, we'll go to page 2.
Go ahead.
DPI settings, you can do 300 or 350. Either one.
Okay. It's 300 is perfectly adequate for me.
Yeah, good. There you go. You're good on that. Go to page 3.
Go ahead.
Touchscreen settings, turn that off.
Go ahead.
Go down to the speaker icon.
Yes.
Make sure that's turned off. You don't want the autofocus beep for birds.
Okay.
Page 4. No, nothing on there applies to wildlife. Page 5.
Go ahead.
Now, because you don't have a grip, I don't remember if it'll let you choose this or not, but under battery priority, press OK.
Uh-huh.
Can you select PBH battery?
Yes, it is.
Okay, select that. Okay, good, good. All right. Then the next thing we want to deal with is the backlit LCD. I like hold.
It's on hold.
Sleep. I don't like using sleep. If you're going to, I recommend 5 minutes.
Why do you not want to do sleep?
I don't like anything that delays me from trying to get a shot. So I don't worry about saving battery power. I carry a bunch of batteries. I want my camera ready to go as fast as possible for shots.
How many batteries should I have on this trip? I have 3.
I would take, this is, don't laugh. I carry 8 per camera body, but I would say 4 to be safe. I mean, what if you get into something hot? Well, you don't have a battery grip right now, do you? Yeah,
No.
4. I would still take 4. I would just be safe. I mean, they're not that and you know how they have that cheaper ProMaster one that you plug in with the USB-C?
Yes.
I tested that. I'll tell you, it doesn't last nearly as long as the OM system one. So I don't get those anymore.
Okay.
Auto power off, I put on 1 hour. I figure if I haven't taken a picture in an hour, I just forgot to turn my camera off.
Right.
And then quick sleep mode, I leave that off.
Right.
Now, the next one, go to page 6, second item down, the clock settings.
Yes.
Press the red button and put that in My Menu 1.
Hang on. So I have to go back here. Set clock settings. Press this and My Menu 1. All right, go ahead.
Okay, go down to the next item where there's a person speaking.
Yes.
Press the red button and save that to My Menu 1, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
On, unfortunately, more than one occasion, I have had clients magically change the language of their menu. So this is where you change it back. Now it's in My Menu. God forbid if you ever find your menu in Cantonese or Italian, You just go to my menu and look for the little person speaking icon, and that's how you fix it.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Now go one more to the right, and you should be in my menu.
Hang on. Go one more to the right. Okay, I have level adjust. Do I need to do anything there?
No, skip the rest on that page. Nothing in there.
Okay, my menu, go ahead.
Yeah. Now you should see where you put card formatting and the clock settings and the English.
Card formatting, settings, and the English. Yes,
So to format your card, now you can get to it quickly just by quickly getting into my menu. You don't have to worry about where it's at in the menu. Okay.
got it.
All right. Now I want you to use the front dial and go all the way to camera 2.
Front, wait a minute. Front dial, go to camera 2. I see what you're doing. I'm there.
Okay. So you were asking about where your live neutral density filter and live graduated neutral density filter are.
Yes.
Here they are, page 1 of the computational modes.
All right.
Now, when I program a custom mode for landscape, I actually program buttons to turn those on and off. Okay. So that's not where we're at right now with you. We can maybe look at that at your next class, but that's what I do. Okay. But that's where they're at. Computational modes, page 2. But there's some more things. We need to do a couple more things in your camera outside your, well, first thing I want to do, let's go into camera 1, page 1.
Go ahead. Wait.
And under custom and select custom mode,
Yep.
press OK, and you should see C1, C2, C3, C4.
Correct.
On C1 at set, press OK.
Okay.
Go to assign,
All right.
press OK,
Okay.
and then on set, press OK.
All right.
Press the menu button back until you see C2, C3, C4.
I see. I'm there.
I want you to do the same thing for every custom mode. Now you have a starting point for all of your custom modes. So if you want to program C2 to macro, we've already got a lot of the settings done. There are some differences between wildlife, but now you'll have all of that stuff saved in every custom mode.
So that'll be the next class, right?
Yeah, we can do macro next. That's right. That's right. Yep.
All right.
Now I want you to press the menu button to get out, or half press the shutter button to get completely out of the menu.
Okay.
Now, I like my default starting ISO for wildlife to be 1600.
All right.
So put your ISO at 1600.
Hang on.
Yeah, great.
Wildlife. ISO 1600. Okay. Let me see. I'm get my ISO up to 1600. Got it.
Okay. Your aperture, I would set at 6.3.
Sure.
And these are just for your default starting points so that when your camera comes on, this is where it'll be. And for your shutter speed, I want that at 1/2500th of a second.
6.3. 1250. Yes.
No, 1/2500.
2500. Sorry. 2500. Okay.
Okay.
Then 1/2500 speed. Okay. Got it.
Now, when you're looking at the back of your camera, do you see your histogram up here?
My back of my camera doesn't look like yours for some reason.
Oh, you're looking at the LCD. I'm sorry. Look in the viewfinder.
I don't see the balance.
You don't see the histogram, but do you see the histogram?
No.
Okay, while looking through your viewfinder, press the info button down at the just below the OK, but you have to be looking through the viewfinder to do that.
Info button.
Yeah, it's right below the OK, the directional pad.
That's, yeah, all right. And after you're looking through,
Yeah,
okay.
look through the viewfinder. Press it till you see your histogram.
Yes, I do.
Okay. If you're looking through your viewfinder and your histogram has disappeared, you have to press the info button to cycle through the views.
All right.
Okay. But if you lose it, if you're looking at the back of the camera, you're not changing the viewfinder view, you're changing the LCD view. So
All right.
that's why your eye has to be to the viewfinder.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm set at a 250, 2500 at
Yep.
6.3 at an ISO of 1600.
Perfect. Okay. Now, do you see on my screen over here in the right, upper right, do you see CAF MF and then below that the bird?
Yes, yes, I guess
Okay.
that's,
And
yes,
then,
I,
yeah, you see it. Okay. And below that, do you see the heart with three boxes and SH2?
yes.
Awesome. Okay. So now here's what we need to do, bud. I want you to press the OK. You can drop the camera from your eye now. And I want you to press the OK button to pull up your super control panel. Actually, hold on. Don't do that yet. Put your FN lever in, make sure it's in position 1.
FN.
Yeah, the lever just to the right of the viewfinder, that's the FN lever. Where the AEL button is, just to the right of your viewfinder, you'll see a
Yeah,
lever, okay? Make sure it's in position 1. That's called the FN lever,
it is.
okay? So press your super control panel, press
Okay.
the OK button, I'm sorry, to go in there. And the second item down on the left is AF target mode.
Yes, it says it's
Okay.
small.
I want you to put that in large. Don't worry about what my camera set you right now. I want you to put it in large.
How do I do that?
Oh, duh. I should have been telling. Okay. So from this panel right here, bud, you're going to press OK. And you can spin the rear or front dial until you see large.
Oh, got it. All right.
Okay. Now I want you to rotate your camera vertically. Yep. And we're going to do the same thing. Press the OK button. To go into your super control panel.
I
And
don't
pick
know
large.
how to get over to it again.
You got to pressing the OK button will pull up the super control panel,
All right. And
and
then,
then press OK on the autofocus target mode. And you should see where you can pick the large box.
got it. And then hit OK.
Yeah, but move it more towards the top before you hit that OK button. Well, don't worry. We'll fix it in a second. Okay. Don't worry about that part yet. Now rotate your camera vertically the other way
All right.
and do the same thing.
And then where do you want it? You want me to
You
go
can
towards
move
the
it
top?
towards the top, move it up towards the top where a bird's head is normally.
All right. Got it. And then hit
Okay. Now come back down. Now put your lever in position 2.
all right. Hang on. All right. Go ahead.
All right. We're going to press OK to get in super control panel. And what target mode is selected now?
It says all.
Okay. We want to change that to small, not single, but small. This one right here.
Okay. I've got not single, but small. Got it.
Okay. And we want to put that somewhere like near the top. Let me show you where mine's at. See where mine's at right there? Put it somewhere up in there.
Small. Okay, got it.
Okay, now rotate your camera vertically. Do the
Okay,
same thing. Put it on small. And put it about a third of the way down from the top of the screen.
okay, got it.
Okay, now rotate vertically the other way. All right, and do the same thing.
Okay, done.
Okay, now just check your shutter speed and your aperture. Make sure they didn't get accidentally changed.
Okay, 2500 and f6
Point
point three.
three. Okay, so now we want to go back at our menu, press the menu button.
Yes,
You'll be on custom mode, right?
yes,
Now press OK.
yes.
Go back through and resave all four.
It's meaning hit assign again.
Yes, under assign, you'll hit set, and then on set, you'll press OK.
Okay, I've done that.
Okay, guess what? You're all set for your trip, bud.
Cool.
Okay. And we did it in an hour and 15 minutes, which is pretty incredible. You're good at getting through the menu, so that helps you. So you know, we'll just go ahead and call it. You got an hour left and we'll do macro. I mean, it may not even take us that long, but the reality is because you've already got a lot of your stuff done, but we'll do some different settings for macro and whatnot when we have time. But so here's the good thing. If you screw up a setting in C1, guess what? You can just turn off your camera, turn back on, it will go back to those defaults.
Great.
So don't shoot in manual, and you can shoot in C1, C2, C3, C4. They're all the same right now. We will
Right.
change that over time, but you've got plenty of what I call oh crap settings.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Okay, bud?
That's great. Thanks.
Okay. Now, thank you, man. I appreciate it, Bob. Have a good trip. And then
Thanks.
I'm gone. I'm going to leave on the 24th. I'll be gone for about a month. Okay. So you just email me anytime during that time when you get back from your trip, and we'll get a date picked to set up to do your other one.
Thank you.
Okay, bud. And this video will be, I'll send you the link here in just a little while. So if you need to go back to it, you can.
In a month. Okay.
Okay, buddy. Okay,
Thank
we'll
you
talk to you
so
later.
much.
My pleasure. Happy to do it, Bob. I like that
Thanks.
smile. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.